Hey there, thanks for tuning in to another episode of the podcast. This is episode 19. So if you want to follow along with the show notes, you can do that anytime at msipodcast.com/019. And as always, this podcast is a way that I reach out and share with you opportunities and interesting things in the tech world that I feel can create a possible additional income stream for you. And this episode is no exception. So today I am connecting up with the creator of Get Fit Mining. This is a revolutionary blockchain-based smart contract that allows you the opportunity to securely and anonymously convert your activity data into cryptocurrency tokens, which can then, of course, be traded or sold into other tokens and even out into fiat dollars. And you can earn even more by simply sharing Get Fit Mining with others, which is exactly what I'm doing here with you today. I am involved with Get Fit Mining myself. I'm experimenting with it, and I wanted to share this with you. Full disclosure, if you do sign up through my link, of course, I will receive a referral commission for that. That is no secret, and you can do the same with others that you know. That is not really why I wanted to do this episode. The main reason is I am in contact with the founder, which is Lynette Artin, and she has a lot of good information about this project that I want her to share with you. And it doesn't matter if you work full-time or involved in other business opportunities, or even if you're a couch potato, honestly, who wouldn't want to monetize their activity data 24/7, 365? I mean, it doesn't matter if you're actively promoting another program, you're still moving around. My watch is still tracking my movement, my data. Why would I not want to monetize that? It's not going to interfere with anything else that's going on. And you can just simply tell others about it and possibly earn even more that way. So I think it's a win-win-win for everyone. And Lynette has a lot of good information to share with us today. It may seem a bit overwhelming. If you're not familiar with the crypto space, there's a lot of terminologies that may not come easy to you, but I assure you, this is worth your time and attention. And if you invest a few hours of your time getting up to speed on some of the lingo and what it might mean for you, I think you'll quickly realize that this could be something really powerful. So, if you've missed out on other great opportunities in the past, Get Fit Mining is here for the taking. So now you're going to listen to my chat with Get Fit Mining founder Lynette Artin. And when we're done, if you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out through the contact links. And there's all kinds of tutorial videos coming and ebooks that Lynette is going to talk about. So no one will be left in the dust. If you feel inclined to get involved and start converting your activity data into cryptocurrency, this is the opportunity. So stay tuned and enjoy the conversation that I had with Lynette. So hi Lynette, thanks for coming on the podcast today. I only do these once in a while, and you know I'm producing videos for all kinds of opportunities, and very seldom does something really stand out in a way that I want to experiment with it myself, and B, I want to share it with the people that do keep in touch with what I'm doing and what's going on. So I know you've been working on this for a while. It's a pretty massive project. I've heard lots and lots about it in the last weeks, and I just wanted to get you on here, maybe 15 minutes, quick little chat about how you got here. I mean, I think we crossed paths back on another crypto project a couple of years ago, I think it was, but that will go nameless. And so basically, how long have you been in this space, and what got you onto the Get Fit Mining concept?
Well, first, thanks for having me on your podcast too, as well. I love talking about Get Fit, but so I've been in the crypto space, honestly, since Bitcoin was introduced. I had a friend of mine call me up and say, I know you don't know what it is. You won't understand it. Neither do I. Just go buy $100 worth. And I did. And because I didn't have an understanding of it or, how crypto works, it's locked in a crashed hard drive at the moment. But it's 12,000 Bitcoin sitting there. So not the pizza story, but nonetheless, 12,000 Bitcoin. So, from that experience, and that happened 2010 or 11 that crashed. I just really was intrigued by crypto. Obviously, it's a new economy, or a new financial piece of the industry. I remember when I was young, and my parents, they started coming out with credit cards, plastic, and their big thing was, oh my God, we'll keep our checkbooks. And so this kind of, reminds me of that a little bit. People have a hard time moving into something new. You get so used to one way of using money that a lot of people have a hard time grasping the crypto concept, but it's been completely life-changing for me because it gives me control of my money. I'm not paying, bank fees. And if I have, my crypto sitting in my wallet or on a trading platform, it's growing for me 9 times out of 10 in leaps and bounds. And if it, does go backwards a little bit, it's almost guaranteed that it's going to go forward as well. And so, excuse me, with banks, you can put as much money in the bank as you want. And at the end of the year, you still got the same amount if you didn't touch it. It's very little, minuscule amount of interest that they pay you, but they're making money on your money every day because they loan it out
every day. Yeah.
So I really started digging into the crypto space, and I love it. I'm completely addicted to it. But getting into the NFT space specifically, it just drove me nuts that people were spending millions of dollars on a JPEG image that had absolutely zero utility behind it. The only value in it is if you wanted what I had and were willing to pay more than I did. 9 times out of 10, that's not the case. And so people are sitting here with what I consider, and I'm not bashing that piece of it because it was what started the NFT space to trend, but virtually almost worthless. You know what I mean? Right. And so started really digging into what the utility is behind and the technology behind the NFT space. And I also, being in networking, I look at everybody who's, we use Facebook, we use Twitter, we use LinkedIn, all of these platforms, to socialize and to check in and basically give a step-by-step of what we are doing in our lives. I just went for a walk. I just went for a run. I just went bike riding. Look at this beautiful trail I was just hiking on, or going to these search engines and searching for different things you're going to shop for. And honestly, I'll say something out loud like, I want to go do this or that. I'll go into my search engine and it's already got it typed for me pretty much as a suggestion. So, like, they're even listening to what we're doing.
Absolutely.
And we're creating billionaires, with these platforms, and we're giving them all of our data for free. They're not paying us for it. So, putting 2 and 2 together, we wake up every day and we do something. We move. We do all these daily activities, and we create this energy that we're using. And so I, began to think, well, why can't we convert this into mining power? Everybody wants to go green. They talk about, the effects that Bitcoin mining has on our environments and the other types of mining that people do. Well, we're creating this energy every day in the physical activities that we do. And so I was involved in a project where one of the creators there were using NFTs and we're putting the utility behind it. So got our development team together, and I didn't know that the move to earn space existed, but when I started to research move to earn, I'm like, oh wow, there's 8, 9, 10 of them out there. And so my idea, I started to research what theirs was. Why didn't they shoot to the moon? Why did they only last a little while? And there were so many pieces. When you create a project in the crypto space, you got to be extremely thorough. You're supposed to solve a problem. And if you're only doing the same thing as somebody else and just putting a different outfit on it or a different cover on it, it's still doing the same thing. It really didn't solve anything. And so it took about 6 months of really researching and studying. And I wanted to create something that wasn't intrusive into a person's life. You didn't have to step outside. Some people are, hostage to their climate. Here in Michigan, it's cold as heck in the wintertime.
Mhm.
I'm not going to step out and do, a 5-10 mile walk when it's, 20, 30 degrees below zero. And
Right.
so now you've got people that are restricted. They're not going to go out in that cold and do that type of activity. Some people are, mobile wise, they have health restrictions or physical limitations, and they're not able to go to the gym and power lift, which a lot of these move to earn apps require to go to a gym.
Mhm.
And so creating an app where you almost challenge yourself to do more because you're being rewarded with these tokens. The other piece that was missing with all of these move to earn apps is that you're only mining their native token. And in the crypto space, because it's a small amount of people, obviously it's growing every day. The market
Right.
cap is up in the trillions now. So, I mean, it's woven into our ecosystem heavily. It's not going anywhere, but getting people to learn what it is, anything that's new, a lot of people will be like, oh, it's just too much. You need a college education. You really don't. Once you get the hang of it, it's just like a light bulb. This is how it works, And so wanted to create something where it wasn't just the native tokens. When you're competing for the same community, when you create a project, you've got to work. I mean, it takes 2, 3, 4 years for it to really grab hold where people are like, oh, I get this. And so I wanted to make sure that we were able to mine multiple tokens so people could expand on their portfolio. So we have an airdrop engine. So GitFit mining solves multiple problems. One, how projects distribute tokens to multitudes of wallets to try to engage communities, and to look into their project, support it, see what it's about. When you take a project that just randomly airdrops, you don't know if it's a scam, you don't know if it's legitimate, you don't know who, the creators of that project are. And so 9 times out of 10, you're not going to touch those tokens that have been airdropped to your wallet because you don't know anything about them and you risk losing your funds. So creating that airdrop engine as the glue to the whole piece was really important to the GetFit mining project. One, it gives people multiple tokens that they're mining, not just the native tokens of the app. So your chances of one of these projects tokens, what we call shooting to the moon or going to the moon, is increased. It's just reliant on the native tokens of the app. But then you also get the collaboration of multiple projects. So when one project comes in, let's say they've got 13, 14,000 users in that wallet, and the second project has got 20,000, they're now sharing the community that's supporting both of their projects. And so now these projects get to collaborate and they get to share the communities. And so instead of competing for the same community, they're now working together with communities to build stronger projects in the crypto space where people actually have got a say in what they support. They're being introduced to things that, are projects where these projects have got a future. In addition to that, we give continued funding to these projects because as they're bringing in their communities, they're receiving royalties on everything that their community is doing. So like a project that's got 20,000 users can easily generate $1.5 million a year in funding. So now you solve an issue where projects run out of funding to continue building and to excel the growth of their projects. I mean, you can only, pull so much money in from the same place. Continue building your project. And if you don't get the legs of the community, then you're going to have an issue. So we solved that problem as well. But the biggest problem is getting people active. Creating a project that was engaging and helped you to compete against yourself. Yes, the support and the camaraderie of the peer-to-peer community that we have here is extremely important. But what we've noticed in the last, 6 to 7 months of testing this application is that you yourself can, you challenge yourself to do more. You are excited that your everyday activity 24/7, I mean, everything, your steps, your distance, your workouts, your calories burned, even the time that you spend sleeping, you're mining these tokens and you don't have to go to the gym. You don't have to power lift. You don't have to do any of this. Low intensity movement is mining at a low intensity level. High intensity movement is mining at a high intensity level. So your activity is generating these hashes or our proof of physical activity. And this is what is determining what your mining rewards are based on your level of activity. Well, you started out, and I'm the perfect one. Even myself as an example. I was in the pet industry for 25 years, pet supply stores, grooming salons, boarding, kenneling facilities. And anybody who's owned dogs know that they give you a workout in themselves. So when you're dealing with, 100 to 200 dogs a day at multiple locations, I was pretty buff for a small woman. But then when I retired from that industry in 2009, after 25 years, even though I maintained a low weight, everything started to flimsy or saggy or floppy, whatever you want to call it. And I would look at myself and go, ugh. When I started using the Get Fit Mining app, I started to challenge myself. And now, instead of my average steps during the day, because I'm always on the computer, was 1,500, 2,000 steps. That's very low intense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where now I push myself to get that 15,000, 20,000. I'm starting to see my muscle tone come back. I'm starting to feel more energy. And so, it just goes to prove that if you stay active, your energy levels increase, your health becomes better. I dealt with sciatic nerve pain for 13 years. It was the worst. And, my doctor was recommending surgery. I don't even have sciatic nerve pain anymore because the better I started to feel, the less junk food I was eating, the less candy I was eating. I started really paying more attention. It's not really that I was consciously doing this, but as I started to feel better, the things that didn't make me feel so good really weren't sounding good to me anymore. I'm starting to do the smoothies now and the microgreens and the different, just things that made me feel better. And so the one thing the app does is it really encourages you. And we haven't really figured out what that key is in this app that pushes a person. Is it the mining rewards? Is it that you feel better, that you're more energized? But we've got, tons of stories just from even our testing group. We had 2,000 people where we tested from October to our current day. June 15th is our big kickoff to the public. But every single one of them will tell you that they love the app. Every day, they are always checking it. They're pushing themselves to do more. We have stories from people who have lost 500 pounds all the way up to 100 pounds.
Nice.
And all they've done is become more active, getting off the couch. But what we did was we created this environment in this app where walking to the kitchen to do your dishes, walking downstairs to do the laundry, going outside and mowing your yard. That's movement, that's activity. And so you're mining those tokens. And so it encourages people to do what they do, move more. I'm not one who's going to go to the gym. I never did, but I move more and it works. And so it's exciting for us. We wanted to make sure everybody was compensated well. The app is completely paid for. There's no investors, there's no angel funds or anything like that. So we're able to really give back to the community in a major way. And that's exciting for us too, because with the challenges in today's economy, everybody needs some extra money. So why not mine these tokens, doing what you're already doing? Really not having to change anything.
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely a no-brainer. My wife and I, we typically walk, 5 kilometers a day. I guess that's probably like 3.5 miles or something. So yeah, I was just like, why wouldn't we, get compensated for that? And I guess that maybe that's the hardest concept, especially for somebody who's not familiar with the crypto space or mining. How does my movement translate into something of value, right? I understand the crypto space, but there's still a bit of so where is the value coming from my movement? And I guess you can also speak to the security, that you're not necessarily being monitored where you're going, what you're doing. So just maybe touch on those couple of things, for the average person who might just be hearing, hey, you can get compensated for walking, sleeping, it's kind of a strange concept.
Deeper than this too, Dave. So we've all heard of kinetic energy. And, I started researching the kinetic energy. And I don't know if most people know this, but we create enough energy to actually power a car and drive anywhere from 3 to 10 miles. Literally, that's how much energy our body generates over 30 days of movement. And that's really where the idea started to really, grow into more. It's like our bodies really do create this energy, and energy is what Bitcoin is using to mine. Energy is what you're using to mine Ethereum and all these other tokens. So why can't we use that physical energy that we're creating through our activity to mine these tokens in a green way? And we don't hold any of your data. The one thing that we did when I really started researching this space, and I've got an exceptional development team, and they've worked with me for many, many years, and they've always laughed at me. And they tell me, coding your brain is the hardest thing we've ever had to do, and you made it impossible this time. And I laugh when they say that to me, because they've worked on many, different things I've needed them to do, and they really weren't sure that they could accomplish everything I wanted in this app. Because the one thing that was really important to me, and the one thing that I always tell people that I love about the crypto space, is that everything you do, it's anonymous. If you don't mix centralized with decentralized, you are in a completely anonymous state. There's no reason why your entire life has got to be an open book on a financial level for the world. You know what I mean? Where they can do whatever they want with your money. I mean, if somebody says that you owe them money, they can come in and garnish your bank account. If the bank thinks that you didn't put the money in fast enough, they can charge you $35 for a bounced check. You know what I mean? They're making, not only that, but they're taking your money and they're loaning it over and over and over. You can loan your money out as crypto in the crypto space, and you're making the money, and a lot of money by doing that. So there's so many things that you can do on the decentralized side. But to be decentralized in its true form, you don't take people's data and share it, sell it, or use it for purposes that are not intended except for this app. But with our permission, so there's many sensors. So like, this is my Apple Watch, and in this, there's the sensor on the back of my band, and it's tracking all of my movement. It's reading my heart rate. It's reading my, my blood, the heat of my blood, all these different things, that are going on in my body. And so we could take all kinds of data. We only take what we need. We need the steps, what you're burning in calories, your heart rate, which is more for anti-cheating type of methods. You know what I mean? If you say you've done 100,000 steps today and you don't have a heartbeat, but we don't. So like with your distance, we don't track your location. We just track the distance that you've traveled, not point A to point B. And so Google Fit, when you download the app, you also need Google Fit if you use Android, or you need Apple Health if you use the Apple phones. And it says right in the permissions when you give it to us, we do not share your data. You are not giving us your location. We do not know where you are. We do not know where you come or go from. All we know is that you started a walk at 10 p.m. and it went for 2 miles, 3 miles, 4 miles, whatever. So it can workout time, because you use the workout time. So if you went for a 2-hour walk, that's a 2-hour workout if you use the workout app. And so we take the raw data. We don't have your phone number. We don't have your address, your location. We don't even have your name. All we have is a crypto wallet that you connect. You're not even connecting. You're just linking it to the app. So all of our code has been written from scratch. We do not rely on any third parties. We haven't used anybody else's code. We don't even use their wallet connect systems. This way, everything's completely secure. That little loop when you're connecting your wallet to a dApp, that's that little tiny millisecond of a loop where a hacker can breach security and can attack your wallet. We never do that here. We have an internal wallet where you transact, so you fund that, and you link your wallet for read-only purposes, so we can, distribute those tokens when you claim them. But we never gain access to your wallet where, you would have to worry about that security breach. And we never share your data. We don't sell your data, and we purge all data on the 8th day. So our servers hold no data. Your activities are stored on the blockchain as far as how many mining shares that you submitted, okay? Not all that personal data behind it. We owe you that personal data that rewarded you those mining shares to claim those mining tokens, those tokens you mined, but we don't keep that data. So everything is safe, everything is secure. and everything is still anonymous, because that's what we believe in the crypto space, and why it's decentralized and why it's so powerful. And so we follow those guidelines basically with the Get Fit Mining app.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah. And for those who are not familiar with the whole decentralized versus centralized, it's basically, anonymity, right? And
more money as well.
Yeah, exactly. More control. You have control over whether it's the tokens you have or the data that you have. Yeah, it's very important. It truly is an amazing app, and I've been experimenting with it myself, and I really like what I see so far. I mean, like I say, my wife and I typically do a good walk or hike every day, and we've been tracking it through the usual Apple activity, and you get excited about a ring that you get. So why wouldn't you convert that into something that is rewarding you monetarily? And so I guess a couple more questions before we're gone. So tell us a little bit more about the token system that the app uses, and because I know in some previous projects I've seen, like you say, it generates a certain particular token, but then that token could completely dump all of a sudden due to whatever the developers were doing, and then all of this potential income, token value that you might have generated over the past year of logging your efforts is essentially worthless. So how have you avoided that potential pitfall?
Okay, so with the Get Fit Mining app, we have 3 native tokens. The first one is the GFAM, and we do not have any heavy holders, no pre-sale, private sale, public type, you know what I mean, where you get up on a platform and just have the sale or whatever. So we don't have any large token holders. Your tokens are being mined through your physical activity. We did distribute some in the very beginning for mining purposes because we had to have some in the ecosystem. But all of our tokens are mined from your physical activity. When you get started, you have to have our mining software, and this is your NFT fitness band. It's virtual. It's your digital real estate. They're all completely unique, and they all have their own mining power, bonuses, and details to them. They're all registered on the blockchain as the NFT. When you mint this NFT, there's four pieces or 4 levels of mining: 100% mining, 125% mining efficiency, 175, and then the final is the Omega miner, and that is a 200% mining efficiency up to 1,000% mining efficiency. These minted NFTs, or the NFTs that you mint, we don't pre-mint them. They're all randomly minted. You come into the system, you mint the NFT, it becomes your mining software. You have to connect it to your fitness tracking. Okay, Google Fit or Apple Health. You can use your phone or you can use a fitness watch. So I have an Apple phone, I use the Apple Watch. So Health just seamlessly translates that data over to Get Fit, or transfers it over to Get Fit. I have my NFT staked in the mining dock, so I'm mining these rewards with that. You can mine with multiple NFTs. We're a multi-chain application, so we're on more than one blockchain. The most exciting piece to Get Fit is the fact that we are, the multi-chain airdrop engine, mine with multiple NFTs that become your digital real estate, and so you're not limited. We can seamlessly integrate with any blockchain in less than 24 hours. The one iChain that we've integrated with a couple of months ago, they do 300,000 transactions per 3-second block with almost 0 fees. And so it makes the mining extremely not only efficient, but very low cost, because on the Binance Smart Chain, even though they're a low cost chain, you never get away from mining fees. And when you're dealing with anything crypto blockchain. And so the app, you're going to spend $9 to $15 a month. to submit your activities and to claim them, because that's just blockchain. I mean, you have to pay those fees. And then we've got a very nominal in-app fee, but all of that is paid back to the users, which I'll explain here too in a second. But with the once you have the NFT and you're mining the tokens, you're also mining other project tokens. So you got the native tokens plus other projects. You're not buying these tokens, it's just mining them through your energy. So it's really worth spending the $9 to $15 a month, you know what I mean, to pay the mining fees on these blockchains.
Right.
Our tokenomics are very low. We didn't create a ton of tokens. They're in a vault that is distributed over a 30-year period of time into the airdrop engine. We do burn 50% of our tokens as they're used, you know, when you're purchasing, minting, or doing anything in app. And then 40% of those tokens are deposited into the back end of the airdrop engine. So 30 years from the date that they went back into the airdrop, they can still be mined by new users that are coming in. And so it keeps a very low amount of tokens in circulation for the three. Now the GFAM, that's our universal token. It's pretty much used for everything in the app. We have challenges where you can create challenges one-on-one. If you want to create an event for a charity or something that you're passionate about, now you're not just limited to your geolocation, but you are, you've actually opened up a global participation, you know what I mean, for an event or a charity or something that you wanted to hold. If it was a 5K walk or something like that. Most of your apps, you'll see this breeding feature. You can take two of something and make a third. You know, they'll breed two of the NFTs, and all of a sudden you've got this baby NFT. We don't do that here, because what happens is you end up creating a very high supply, and you have to be able to match that with demand. And so what we do is merge them. So you can actually take two, like let's say our primary band, that's the 100% efficiency. You can merge two of those up to the ultra band, and we burn those two primaries.
Right.
Their ID into what we call the graveyard, so they can never be minted again, because every NFT here is unique. If we were to completely remove it from circulation, it could be minted again. So we remove them from circulation, but we retire the ID. And then you can take two ultras and merge them for an alpha. We burn out the ultras. And then you can take two alphas, merge them for an omega, and we burn out the two alphas. And so through that process, we end up burning, it takes 8 primaries, 4 ultras, 2 alphas to get to 1 omega. So we burn 14 NFTs out of circulation to create one high-powered band. So you never run out of wrists, right, to use these NFTs, you know, for mining. So we low supply on the NFTs through the merging. We have the leasing feature where when the NFTs are more expensive than they are now, it may create a barrier for some people to mine that NFT or be able to afford it, whatnot. And so the community that has multiple NFTs will be able to stake them to the marketplace and loan them out to anybody. They just get their MetaMask or DApp wallet, you know, fund it with BNB to submit their activities, and they can stake to another person's band for free. And now their activity is mining rewards for them and the person who owns the NFT. And the owner of the NFT will set those parameters so they can share it 20, 80, 30, 70, whatever percentage that they want to give to the person or people who are using their activity to mine with. Right. And the smart contract does everything. And so when the person submits their activity, it just distributes, boom. You know, the person who provided the activity for the mining receives this amount of reward. The owner of the NFT receives that amount of the reward, but the owner of the NFT stays in control of that NFT. We also have our, you know, you'll be able to sell your NFTs. If you work your activities through what we call the arenas, this is our gamification in the GetFit app, and you make it to the Hall of Fame, your band retains its mining power, which is awesome, because if you take that Omega band that started out at 200% and you've reached that 1000% mining power, that band becomes very attractive to a person who's really into their fitness. And so you'll be able to probably pull in a pretty good price on that NFT versus one that's only got 200% mining power. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even in a competitive lease pace, the lease piece here, if I've got an Omega with 1,000% mining power, and I come to the market, and a person comes to the marketplace, they're going to choose my band over another band that's got lower mining power. So that's another piece that really helps people to stay competitive too. They want bands to have the highest mining power, so when people come to the marketplace and stake to them, they'll choose theirs. So we've got all of that plays into the supply and the demand. Getting back to the tokenomics, if we do this just the same amount of business that we did last year, we would need our current holders to sell all of their tokens 5 times. So I really get tired of seeing in the crypto space projects that create quadrillions of tokens with no utility. And then somebody, well, when it reaches $1, well, good luck with that. We're doing good, with that many in circulation. And so we wanted the tokenomics to be low. We really wanted it to be based off market demand. We wanted to create an app that had the demand for it, that would give people incentive to motivate them to do more, to use the app, and therefore create the demand for the NFTs. And when you create the demand for the NFTs, you've created the demand for the native tokens, because they need the native tokens to mint the NFTs and to do some of the in-app features. And so we wanted to make sure that the supply and the demand was there. We wanted to make sure that we didn't have too many in supply when it comes to the NFTs. So with the merge feature, all the burning that we do, we've created that very solid project that we need in the space to be successful.
I mean, not gonna lie, the whole thing, I mean, it's very complex. But but it doesn't have to be. And anyway,
it's cool in a complex way. Like, if you take the whole, you don't have to understand everything about the app. And it is a little bit challenging, but it's very worth it. You know what I mean? Yes, it may take you 45 minutes to an hour to actually set your mining pieces up. But once you do it, it's a set it and forget it. You just have to submit that activity every day. So I get it. It's a little bit challenging, but to make it work, it had to be. We could have stayed simple and we would have been just like all the other projects, and they don't work.
Exactly. It sounds like you've dotted the I's and crossed the T's. And, while, the average person might be a little overwhelmed with everything that they're hearing, they may not even understand some of the terminology. I'm going to try and simplify some of that before and after the podcast. But there is a system.
Well, I was going through this, not to interrupt you, but I knew, obviously we want to reach global attraction, and global attraction isn't all, integrated in crypto yet. So while I was road mapping this out, doing my research, blueprinting it for the developers to start coding it, I was writing 5 ebooks to explain crypto as we went that, will be available soon to people, and not for sale or anything like that, but just understand crypto. Crypto from A to Z. And those 5 ebooks explain crypto. It's not talking about Get Fit or my personal life or anything like that. It is literally just, if you want to know crypto, taking my knowledge and my experience in the crypto space and applying it to understanding what the crypto is. And so those, hopefully people will read them. Like I said, I'm not pitching them to sell them. It's not an upsell. There's no cost to it. It's just, if you want to understand this space, there are 5 ebooks. One's pretty long. The other ones are pretty short. One's over 100 pages. The rest of them are like 20, 30, 40 pages, the other 4. But you'll get a really good understanding. And if you can just get the basic understanding, I look at it like this. Think about it back in the day when there really wasn't the money system in place. If I was a farmer and I was growing, let's say, potatoes, and you're a farmer and you're growing corn, you would trade your corn for my potatoes, right? Now I had corn and potatoes, and so did you. That's crypto, and that's in its simple form. It is a barter and trade system pretty much amongst peers. And that's the basics of it, honestly.
No, absolutely. And those ebooks sound like they'll be very valuable. I look forward to seeing those. Hector, who introduced me to this, and you, who's also listening on this, there's also a marketing system angle, which, as I understand, is going to have all kinds of videos that walk new users through, A to Z. Yeah, there are some upsell opportunities there for people who really want to build, but we'll get into that some other time on another episode. But yeah, I think, we'll probably keep it at that for today. I'd love to have you back on once it has been out to the public for a while, and there's a lot more people using it and experimenting with it. But just, I think the concept of monetizing your energy and your efforts and your motion, or your lack of motion, when you're sleeping. Actually, I got to get you to help me set up the sleeping end of it. I notice mine isn't necessarily tracking my sleeping, but that's totally fine. I'm still killing it with the steps each day. The concept is just amazing. I congratulate you on that. You seem very sincere about doing this. And the other thing people need to keep in mind who are not familiar with crypto, smart contracts run themselves. The contract is made, it's running. Lynette, God forbid, could drop dead in her chair right now. That contract is going, like everything is going. So there isn't this team of people behind the scenes, converting your data into tokens. It's done.
That's all the best part about it. This you're so let's say you're helping to build the community, and you're bringing in, people who want to use the app, and you sell the NFT. We give most of the money back to the community, right? We only use what we need for the app. We do 70-80% back to the community. People say, well, you can't do that, it'll fail, because no, that's not true. The app's completely paid for. We don't own any investors. We don't have any heavy holders. We don't have to worry about that. And because we don't store any data, our servers are very nominal in cost, and we're very scalable. Everything is operated on the blockchains, and so everything is managed by smart contracts. So we don't have, millions of dollars a year that we have to spend, I mean, and take it from all of these people that are using the app. They're making the bulk of the money, and you're paid instantly. You don't rely on a company, a group of people, a team, me, anybody. And you're paid immediately, instantly, in real time. And like you said, you never know. I mean, every day that we wake up is a blessing. That's a gift,
absolutely.
Right? I don't know if I'm going to wake up tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to walk across the street and get my mail and get hit by lightning. Who knows? But Get Fit will still run, and it doesn't need me to operate. That's the beauty of it. And that's why we set the airdrop up the way it did. X amount of these tokens circulate back into the back end of that, so that 30 years from the date that they go back into the airdrop, people are still able to mine. So there's this, it's always there.
Nice. So real quick to end this out, somebody who's never heard of Get Fit before, I send them a link to get them started. What are they looking at entry level to get going to a point where they can get one of these NFTs and start mining tokens?
So on the Kai chain until September, we're running a promotion because it is a new blockchain. We want people to be able to use it and experience it. You're mining the coin there too. So it's not just tokens, but it's actually a coin, which when we get into liquidity pools and farming and staking, that becomes a big deal. So the creator of that blockchain has, deposited coins into the airdrop, which we'll talk about that another time. But for the lowest mint that you can get on an NFT, the Kai chain, you can get started for $25 to mint that NFT. On the smart chain, you're going to spend $100 to mint a primary and $200 to mint an ultra. It's up to you which one you want to use. You do have to have a little bit of BNB in your wallet to cover the mining fees on the Binance Smart Chain. And we provide you with the KEC. So as people are coming in and minting, we'll provide you with a KEC until it's available on the exchange, because it's not going to go on the exchange until September. I believe Rod is the creator of that project. I believe he said it would be in September.
Right. So and the KEC is what?
KEC is the coin for the Kai chain. That's the native coin. So like, BNB is for Binance. KEC is for Kai chain. And so Rod has been amazing to work with. It's an awesome project. And great developers, backing that project as well. And they provide all of our users with KEC. So essentially, you can get started for as little as $25. If you want the 4 NFTs on the Binance Smart Chain, because you can mine with up to 4 right now, $425 is what you would spend if you wanted 4 NFTs on the Smart Chain, 1 on the Kai Chain. Because right now we've only opened up mining with 1 on the Kai Chain, simply because we're very, we manage out as far as making sure we don't have whales, right, that are holding. So when the user base increases on the Kai Chain side, then we'll open up additional mining decks for people to use more NFTs to mine with. But right now, it would be distributing too much KEC to one person's wallet, and then you create that whale scenario. So the Kai Chain's not ready yet for 4 NFTs, to mine with, but the Smart Chain is. So
excellent.
Yeah.
I really like what I'm hearing, because all of the projects that I've known about or seen before have all crumbled because of having whales and pump and dumps and too many tokens and all kinds of things like that. So I really am like
projects where they tell you, hold, don't sell, sell. And then when you sell, they're shaming you and whatever chat group you're in for it. We're here. It's like we've created this atmosphere where we're begging people to sell your tokens. We need you to sell your tokens. You know what I mean? Because we didn't do that. You've got to think about the economics of a project when you're creating it. You know what I mean? And the supply, the demand. And so here, that's the environment that we've created. We need people to sell the tokens that they've mined, or we don't have enough to meet the demand. That's the beauty of the whole thing.
Yeah. Very, very cool. I really appreciate the time today. We're definitely going to need to do, another 1 or 2 episodes down the road a little bit. So, I know there's going to be some people watching this, their mind is exploding. They may still not understand some things, but that's okay. Just tell yourself.
It's awesome, though. That means that you're going to learn. We should be learning until the day we die. And this is an amazing space to learn.
Exactly. Just tell yourself, you're going to put some time in to learn. And at least, as this project unfolds, you're going to watch the tutorial videos and get set up and give it a go and see how it works for you. So, Lynette, thanks so much for joining me this morning on this. And thanks, Hector, for connecting us up. We will definitely get back in touch soon. All the best with the public launch, which is going to happen in a couple days from the time of this recording.
Yep. Thank you, too, for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Have a great day, and we'll be talking soon.
All right. Thanks, Dave.
All right, take care. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
So today's episode and all episodes of the Multiple Streams of Income podcast are brought to you by salesvideos.com. Yes, that is my own sales video production company that I've been operating now for over 2 decades. Yes, we focus on producing high impact custom sales videos for your business needs. But in addition to the custom videos, I also have a handful of generic sales videos, and these are at a much less cost and they're pre-made. So if you find one of those that you think might work for your business, or just need a lead capture page video, those are available to be custom branded for just a fraction of the cost. So you can check those out and everything that we do at salesvideos.com. All right, thanks so much for listening to today's podcast episode. That was Lynette Artin, a great visionary in the cryptocurrency space. It really does blow me away at how much she really does understand the crypto space and how much time and effort and her own resources she's put into making Get Fit Mining a reality. If you like what you heard and you want to try out Get Fit Mining, I have links in the show notes for this episode. I have links below the video here on YouTube or wherever it is that you're watching it. And you can get involved that way. Again, that is an affiliate link. So if you do sign up through my link, you will be helping support the show. And that is fantastic. So that's it for this episode. I do plan on having Lynette back on in future episodes to see what's new and improved in Get Fit Mining. But absolutely fascinating, and I look forward to bringing you another episode before too long. So be sure to subscribe to the podcast if you're not already. no matter what platform you're tuning in. And I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. That's it for today. Take care.